So generally speaking, in my time as being a business owner, I have observed a unique characteristic about employees and decision making. And that is that when an employee makes a poor decision, a bad decision, a dumb decision, that decision is usually followed by additional dumb decisions, whether by that employee or by the employees that show up to help them. And this was outlined perfectly yesterday. See, the night before, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning studying physics because I'm in a physics class at college. And at 4 a.m., I was like, damn it. The guys will start to be here at 6:30. There's really no point in me going to sleep. So I stayed up, got the office ready, made some coffee for the guys whenever they come in, made some cinnamon rolls, things like that. The guys start to wander in, 6:30, 7:30, get them all gone. And about 8 o'clock, when everybody's off on their way, I look at the supervisor and I'm like, all right, you take care of it. I was up all night. I'm going to go find some sleep. And my plan was to sleep for like 3 hours and then get up and start the day. And I would just be tired, but whatever. So I make my way to my house, and by 8:15, my head is on my pillow and I don't remember anything else. Nothing. It was gone. I was asleep immediately until 9:07. At 9:07, my phone rang and it was a supervisor saying, hey, one of the guys got his truck stuck. I'm going to take another truck, go pull him out, just letting you know what's going on. I said, that's fantastic. I press the end button on my phone. I go to put the phone on the nightstand. And the moment that the phone hits the nightstand, the loudest crack of thunder and lightning hits right outside the house. As in, I saw the light and heard the noise at the exact same time. I damn near shit myself and dropped my phone, okay? God, that would have been expensive, all right? New phone and new underwear, I'm not ready for that, okay? So now I'm laying in bed, just got the shit scared out of me, and I think to myself, is the supervisor gonna be able to handle it? And then like clockwork, like the moment I thought that thought, there is a torrential downpour of rain. And I think to myself, no, I better get up. So absolutely no sleep. I wake up, it is piss poor in the rain. I mean, rain like sheeting action. It's what your dishes go through in the dishwasher, okay? I don't even need to pay to wash the trucks. They're all clean now. I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna have to go help. So I get up, get dressed, get in the truck, start driving there, and I think to myself, you know what? I really should give the supervisor enough time to figure this out. So I'm gonna stop at McDonald's and get a cup of coffee. I'm gonna enjoy my cup of coffee while I drive there. It's gonna give the supervisor a few minutes to handle things. I get my coffee, it's cooling down, I'm enjoying it, and I make my way to where the truck is stuck. And as I pull off of the main road onto the driveway, I drive the entire length of the driveway, probably about 960 feet. And I don't see my truck anywhere. More concerning, I don't see ruts anywhere in the grass where the truck would have been stuck. So, hey, listen, I'm not infallible. I could have made a mistake. I checked the address. I called dispatch. I have them look. Yep, I'm at the right address. So I look on the Samsara GPS tracking for the trucks, and I see two things. One, I see the view out the windshield showing trees. And I see the view in the windshield, which is a frustrated driver with his hand on his forehead. And I see that these trucks are 600 feet away from my present location. And I don't understand this because I'm on the driveway. So I drive the driveway a second time. And off to the side of the driveway, tucked between a couple of trees, I see an old logging road that's not even paved. It's not even gravel. It's just dirt. It's just a dirt logging road. And I think to myself, surely not. Surely nobody made such an error in judgment that they would take my pump truck down that logging road. But in the interest of being thorough, I parked my truck, coffee in hand, and I started jaunting down this logging road. Now, road is a generous term. It was more of a path. And not only that, it was a path that went damn near straight down. People in the South would describe this as down in a hole, okay? This was not a road that you are designed to take a vehicle on. This is like, let's go take heavy equipment on this road. And as I start walking down this road, I hear my trucks before I see them. 600 feet down the road are my trucks, engines roaring, strapped together, trying to pull each other out. The level of anger and ire and just despise at that moment that was in my brain was over fucking whelming as I start walking down this road. Who in their right mind would take my trucks down this road? Who would do that in the rain? And I get down there and I see everybody's working. And so I just stand there with my coffee in hand, completely unnoticed by everybody there. And they are working diligently, doing the exact wrong thing to get the truck out, but they're trying really hard. And before I say a word, I take a moment and just kind of assess the situation and decide how I want to handle it. Because we all know that anger makes you dumb. So we need to get rid of the anger and just have a positive attitude. And then finally, the supervisor notices me and work stops. And then the other employee notices me and his work stops. And I just look at him with not a bit of anger in my voice. And I go, "Are we having fun yet?" To which their answer is a resounding no. And I say, "Listen, do me a favor. Walk me through what's happened and let's see what we can do." And they explain, this supervisor explains that the truck was down the hill. It was only lightly raining at the time. And he thought that he could use his truck on the incline to get the other truck out. Now, whenever I asked the supervisor, "Tell me what's going on here," he explained that he parked his truck at the top of the hill, walked down the hill, saw the truck stuck, thought he could pull it out, brought his truck down. Now they're both stuck. Now, it's ironic that I was studying physics the night before. And the specific subject that I was studying in physics was the coefficient of friction as it relates to angles, which is precisely the problem that I'm having now. Literally, what I'm studying in school is a real-world example of what's going on. This is what I was struggling with and didn't understand. Thank you, God, I did not need this as a real-world example. I could have figured it out with a book, okay? But God decided to bless me with a problem. And I knew from my previous nights of study that a truck on an incline will not be able to pull out a truck that is stuck. Real-world application. It all clicked in my head. So I said, here's the plan. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Everybody just walk around, de-stress, 5 minutes. We're going to come back here and we're going to come up with a plan. So we did. I drank my coffee. It was beautiful. And at the end of 5 minutes, we sat down and we came up with 3 plans. Our primary, our secondary, and our tertiary plans. And for the next 3 hours, we tried these plans. We tried strapping a winch to a tree, a 12,000-pound winch to a tree, and trying to pull out the truck. It just tore the winch apart. Remember, there's 2 stuck trucks now. We tried ratchet straps. We tried chains around the tires. All of these solutions failed. The trucks didn't move an inch. Well, with the winch, it moved maybe a foot. So I finally make the decision. I'm like, you know what? We're done trying to solve this problem on our own. Let's call a professional. So I reached out to my buddies at Allegiant Towing. Now, this is the same towing company that has towed our vehicles whenever they need mechanical work. They towed our service truck, identically one of the trucks that is stuck here, after Taylor wrapped it around a guardrail. Suffice it to say, we are a frequent flyer with Allegiant Towing. We love them. They probably hate us. In any event, I call them up. Not 25 minutes after my phone call, they have a wrecker on site. And the guy that gets out of this wrecker, looks like a tow truck driver. Except by his analysis of the problem, I immediately knew that he knew what he was doing. Because the first words out of his mouth was, "We're going to have to figure this out because I'm not bringing my truck down this hill." Sir, given that there are 2 F550s 4x4 stuck at the bottom of the hill, and you are making the decision not to add your truck to it, I'm going to say you probably know what you're talking about. We're going to go with whatever plan you have. Now, bear in mind, there's like 600 feet between where the tow truck can get to and where our trucks are at. So we have to figure out, because Damn near no wrecker has 600 feet of cable. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't fit on the winch. Thank God, or thank me, or thank whoever, I equip each truck with tow straps. So each truck that was on site had its own recovery tow strap for 15,000 pounds of nylon strapping. So we start daisy chaining these together, and at the top of the hill, the wrecker driver hooks his cable to it and starts pulling. We burned up 2 sets of tires. A set of tires is roughly $3,000. And we're barely able to get these trucks up and out. From start to finish, it was roughly 7 hours to get these trucks up there. At the end of the day, nobody got hurt. The parts of the trucks that got damaged were the alignment and the tires, which are easily fixable. $3,000 for sets of tires per truck, that's $6,000. The alignment, I don't know what that's going to cost, and then the wrecker bill. Now, for the entire time that they were there, they billed us a very reasonable amount. I was expecting a much higher bill. And we finally get out. We get back to the office, and I've gotten a refill of my coffee. I'm sitting down in my chair. I'm getting on with the rest of my day. I'm dog-ass tired, like very, very tired. And here comes the first employee, and he says, so am I suspended or am I fired? I was doing something else. For the life of me, I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, what? He says, am I suspended or fired for getting the truck stuck? I was like, how about if you have a seat and we talk about it? He's our newest driver. Now, we've told him don't take the trucks off-road. He's relatively new driving these trucks. I said, listen, let this be a learning experience. Let this teach you what not to do. You had to be stuck at that job for 7 hours in the piss-pouring rain with us. This is a pretty good learning experience. He says, yeah, but this has cost you a whole bunch of money. I said, yeah, it's probably cost me upwards of about $10,000 by the time it's all said and done. And he goes, I'm not fired? I said, yeah, you're not fired. You're not even suspended. Now, if we have this problem again, you and I are going to have a conversation. This is going to be an entirely different conversation the next time around. The supervisor looks at me, the guy that took his truck down to the same place that the other guy's truck was stuck and got his truck stuck. And he says, am I in trouble? I'm like, you ever going to do that shit again? He was like, absolutely not. I was like, great. Do me 2 things. 1, don't do that again. 2, put that customer's house on a do not service list because we're not going back there. He's like, gotcha. This is the perfect example of 2 things. 1, my physics problem. Again, I didn't need that as an example. And 2, this is a perfect example of when somebody makes a bad decision, it is usually followed by additional bad decisions. So how do you stop it? How do you stop the madness and regain control of the situation and start making good decisions? Somebody has to come along. Whether it's you, me, somebody else, doesn't matter. Somebody has to come along and say, stop. Everybody take a break. Let's examine what's going on, what's happened, what's happening, and what we want to happen. And let's come up with a plan to make that happen. You've got to stop the madness. As my supervisor was explaining the chain of events that led him to the situation that he was in whenever I found him in 2 trucks at the bottom of a hill, as he was explaining it to me, it was clicking in his head. All the bad decisions. He was actually having a hard time telling me what he'd done because saying it out loud resonated with him just how ridiculous his actions were. So you got to stop. You got to look at what you've done objectively and come up with a new plan. And the people that are in this situation very seldom can be the ones to push the stop button and bring it back on track. So what can we do to avoid getting caught up in this vicious cycle of bad decisions? 1, stop. Just take a break. Don't get caught up in the need to act. And 2, stand back after your break and come up with a plan. Remember, anger makes you stupid. So don't be angry, be constructive. Now, there was another little side note that came in there because the employee realized that he'd cost me probably about $10,000. And he said, am I going to be made to pay for any of this? Do I owe you money? Pretty important question. And I said, let me ask you a question. You go out and make for me hundreds of dollars every day. say you make for me $1,000 a day and I pay you, say, $300 a day. Do you ever wonder where the rest of that money goes to? Why you don't just make the $1,000 yourself? He says, well, I know you have expenses to cover and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I got expenses to cover. But part of the reason your pay doesn't equal, the cost of the equipment minus insurance, and then the rest is yours, is because the business owner has to have money on the side to handle situations like this so that you, the employee, don't have to pay for it. That's the advantage of being an employee. So yeah, you make less than the company makes. The company bears all the expenses, including when you and another employee cost the company $10,000. Yeah, the company covers that. That's why you don't make the product of your labor. The light sort of came on for him. I think that was the first time anybody explained that to him like that. I also think this is the first time he's worked at a company where he wasn't made to pay for anything that he broke. In any event, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Jump in the comments and let me know, at your company, where you work, are you the guy that comes in and says, stop, hold up, let's come up with a plan? Or are you the guy that just viciously works in a vicious cycle to get out of whatever you're in? Let me know. I'll talk to y'all next time.